AITA for telling my parents they're not meant to make it obvious who their favorite child is. I'm 16F. I have a 20-month-old younger brother, we'll call him Jack, who is pretty much the light of my parents' life. I understood that when he came along, I wouldn't have my parents' undivided attention, or even much of it in the first few years of his life, but I didn't really understand how much would really change. It started when he was about 6 months old. They asked me if I would take the smaller bedroom and move Jack into mine. They have pretty valid reasons, so I did agree and took the smaller room. My room was fairly bare when it was the bigger one, was just my bed, a bit of decoration, wardrobe, dresser, and in that room my TV was wall-mounted, but my dad kept forgetting to wall-mount it in the new room, so it was on the dresser. I do prefer the smaller room. It's easier to keep clean, cozier. The room was just kind of the start of the whole "your brother needs more" thing. It was kind of just giving my brother snacks that I kept in the fridge/hot press for a while. Then it turned into "can we give your brother Instart" thing I use regularly. Most recently it was my TV and Chromecast. This is kind of what takes the cake for me. My brother slept in my parents' room for the first 6 months and got used to falling asleep with the TV on, then until about a month ago, it was his iPad propped on his dresser. He ended up breaking his iPad, because has one, he shouldn't even have one. My parents decided they were going to take my TV to make my brother sleep, so they did, only it's not a smart TV and I used it mainly for my Switch, PlayStation, and had a Chromecast to watch things with.
So they decided to take the Chromecast too. I got pretty pissed about this. They didn't even ask this time, and when I brought it up they said I'm saving for a new one anyways. I am saving for a smaller one. But I'm a bit off still. So I'd only need to wait another few months. I asked them how they expect my brother to sleep in, say, a hotel or at a sleepover if they don't break the habit now. They said they don't know, but they'll cross that bridge when they come to it. I eventually asked what I'm meant to use my PlayStation on, and that said I can just wait until I get myself a new one. I asked about the Chromecast. Same thing. I'll have to get myself a NRW one. No compensation. Eventually I got annoyed and said, you're allowed to have favorites, but you're not meant to make it so obvious who it is. They both got pretty pissed at me for implying they have a favorite child to begin with. They think I am a huge asshole for that alone. And saying I want my TV back. AITA?
Your 20-month-old brother has his own TV? Wow. NTA.
NTA. And letting a baby get into the habit of falling asleep with a TV on sounds like a really bad idea. NTA. What teen has to buy their own TV? Anyway? And it sounds like your parents don't want to raise your baby brother. They just want to sit him in front of a screen so they don't have to deal with him. Yeesh. NTA. Do you have grandparents or any other family you could talk to about this, just in case this behavior progresses in the future and you need to leave? NTA. They've already royally screwed up their child's development so early and they don't even know it. Plus they owe you for the TV and Chromecast. It doesn't matter if you were saving for a new one or not. They should have asked you first and offered to give you the remaining balance of what you were saving up, or just straight up bought you a new one. Also, iPads aren't cheap, so they basically told on themselves saying they could afford it. NTA. At this point I wouldn't bother saving for a TV. I'd be saving to get out of Dodge. Your parents are raising a monster who's going to be all me before their 3rd birthday. NTA. WTF is wrong with your parents? He's not even 2. He doesn't need your TV. In fact, it's a pretty bad idea to let a toddler stare at a screen. I'm sorry you're going through this, but I don't know if this is going to get better. They did a shitty job out of accommodating life for having a second child, and they're making you feel unwanted. I do hope your parents are going to realize that they're in the wrong, and they are going to pretty much lose the relationship they had with you if they don't show that they love you too. I am the first child in my family, and my parents always made it clear that my sibling is the perfect little kid that can do no wrong. Even if it was a situation where I was in the right and my sibling started a fight, I was the one getting in trouble because I was the bigger one and I should have known better. My sibling always got away with pretty much everything, and now as an adult it's not much better. My parents' attitude caused a lot of relationship problems and resentment between me and my sibling. Fortunately, you are going to move out pretty soon. But I hope things are going to get better until then. Your feelings are valid. NTA. There are little sound machines your parents can buy. There's no reason for them to be taking your things to make your brother feel more comfortable when he's a baby. He doesn't need a TV. NTA. I pity the woman who marries him. Your parents have created a monster. Edit. I just realized he is 20 months. Not 20 yo. WTF is wrong your parents. NTA. It's natural you'd want your stuff back and that you'd get your fur up at your stuff being taken from you for the baby. NTA. It's not even healthy for a kid that young to be so addicted to screen time. NTA. The kid is 20 months old. He can't tell the difference between a TV show and a screen filled with static. He doesn't need an iPad. They should just get one of those small kitchen TVs with aerials and turn it to a channel that works. NTA. TVs do not belong in a child's room. Period. It is incredibly bad for their development. It is lazy-ass parenting to an extreme. You should continue to call them out in the moment for being bad parents to both of you. NTA. I'll never understand parents that decide to have another baby when their other children are teens, adults. They made this choice. They should be the one making sacrifices. I bet they wouldn't want to give up their TV. But they did not care one bit to take yours. You should hide any of your stuff that you think your parents might take. I'm so sorry this is happening to you. NTA. This is their kid. They are supposed to provide for you both. And even in families where things have to be shared, it's called hand-me-downs, not hand-me-UPS. The younger kid gets the cast-offs that the older kid doesn't want or can't use anymore. The older kid isn't supposed to have stuff they are using taken and given to the younger one. Here's my question. Do they have a TV in the living room? Do they have iPads and Chromecasts? If so, they should be giving their stuff up first, then asking you if you'll part with yours. Your parents want to be mad at you? Okay. Give them a reason to be mad. Say the following to them. Mom, Dad, you've decided that you have the absolute right to take things that are mine without my permission and give them to your new child. That is your choice as parents. Though I strongly disagree with it. It is a violation of my personal space, my personal ownership of things you told me were mine, and a destruction of the relationship we share. In 2 more years, I'm going to be a legal adult. So my suggestion is twofold. First, you'd better get whatever you want from me now. Because when I turn 18, I will be reporting any further theft. And this is theft. To the police. Second, you will of course be free to ask me to babysit, help with my brother, or anything else when I turn 18. For you, my babysitting rate will be $40 per hour, with a minimum 4 hours guaranteed paid up front with a half-hour paid break. Any time over your expected return will be paid at time and a half. And this will all be written into a contract you sign when I come in and hand me the money for every babysitting session. NTA. I don't want to parent shame, but a toddler should not have his own TV. Op will move out, but her parents will be regretting this when they'll have no choice but to be those solemn-faced parents on Dr. Phil. I don't even think it's that your brother is the favorite. Though I don't doubt he is. I think your parents are just lazy. They're not actually doing your brother any favors here. They're not even spoiling him in the way a 1-year-old could be spoiled. They're actively harming his sleep and eyesight with this BS. They're too lazy to actually help him fall asleep without a TV at 1 SMH. They're too lazy to find another solution. Buy a new iPad. Buy a new TV. Do anything. NTA. Op. Just 2 more years until you're free. NTA. I am sorry you are going through this. I think you speaking out of frustration was completely warranted. NTA. My toddler is the same age as your brother and I would never dream of letting her fall asleep to a TV, let alone putting one in her room. That's bad enough. But to take your stuff and give it to him and then tell you it's okay 'cause you're buying yourself a new one soon is just disgusting. This is terrible parenting. You need to remind your parents that they are your parents too and you are still a child. Just because you're older doesn't mean they can ignore their parental responsibility to you in favor of your brother. When you're old enough, if it doesn't change, leave and don't look back. NTA. So baby brother is given everything. Most of it was yours. Things he is way too young for. But you have to save up to buy your own. And they think you are implying they have a favorite. Yeah. It won't be long before all of your free time will be keeping him amused and watching him. The cute baby stage will wear off, but he will already be spoiled. Will whine and bug your parents and you will be expected to give up more to make him happy. Good thing is, you have only 2 years to go before you can leave, which will be around the time the baby stage wears off.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.